Oh,
get involved. How have you seen that evolve, and what kind of conversations have you had with him about what that's going to mean for him?
well, whatever the situation calls for. When you play with multiple ball handlers, you have the luxury of being able to take a guy like Tyrese off the ball and put the other guys on. You can use him as a movement guy. You can use him as a screener. But sometimes you move him into catches where the defense now has to move to adjust. So Tyrese understands how to play off the ball. He's done it. He did it quite a bit in Sacramento before he was traded here. And it's another one of his strengths.
Has that more been done because of his shooting ability? Because he is so talented with the ball, like, he has to find the right balance of when he should have it and should be doing off-ball stuff.
Well, we're a much better team when the ball moves. And we love having the ball in his hands a lot, but not too much, because then our team can get bogged down a little bit. In the last 2 home games, our number of passes is way down than the previous 3 road games. And so, we're still leading the league in number of passes per game, but that's got to be something that is in our stream of consciousness. We've got to keep the ball moving. It makes us much harder to guard.
How are you seeing him get better game to game at? Basically, how are you seeing him improve as a screener, when it comes to off-ball movement? Where do you see him grow from, time?
Yeah, he reads situations well. A lot of this began in earnest in the Dallas game. And it was clear that we needed to keep developing mechanisms to keep the game moving, keep Tyrese moving around, not allow other teams to just simply take him out of the game. And, we've made some progress with it, but you got to work on it. You got to work on it all the time. It's like a great marriage. A great marriage is work. Just ask Tony.
I do. That's where I get my marriage.
Coach, we're doing a special story on Jenny for Women's History Month. You've been such a champion of hers when did you know that she had the potential of being a fantastic coach in the NBA?
Well, she asked to come to one of our training camps in Dallas back in 2014, I believe, and she wanted to come in for the entire month to see how we started from day one and put in a system offensively and defensively. And being around her for that month gave me strong clarity that she could not only coach in the NBA, but she could be a very high-level coach in the NBA. She's proven that to be accurate. She does a lot of stuff with our defense now. She's a decision maker on the sideline when it comes to defensive coverages and matchups. And I'm real proud of her because she is paving the way for other girls and women that will follow her.
What is so unique and special that she brings to this team this year that you've seen and helps the team improve?
Well, she has great experience. She's been a head coach 2 different times. She has great relationship skills, and she builds trust with the players. And she understands, and she played the game at a high level. And so, there's a reason that right now she's the only female on the front of the bench in the entire NBA. And she's earned that position.
I was going to ask about Doug. Obviously, how's he coming along? Obviously,
He's doing better. He practiced too. He's getting close.
Any other injury updates, or was he being a little changed from last game?
I don't know. Is anybody else on the list?
No.
Ben's on the list, but
yeah,
he's having surgery today.
Is it today? Okay.
Yeah, it's probably over with by now. I haven't heard, but I'm sure it was successful and everything went well.
Yeah, obviously he's a great player. Great players make tough shots. He had Incredible night. I mean, I think he's had multiple incredible nights in this building. But that's as tough a shot as it gets, falling away at the end of the clock. Got to live with that one. I mean, I was right there to contest it. If I were maybe an inch or two taller, maybe been able to affect it a little bit better. But there were stuff that we could clean up, but that one was a tough one for sure.
There was an article on ESPN today with talking about you and then also the combination with Tyrese. How has that progressed and how effective are you playing alongside him right now?
It's easy to play with Ty. You kind of just let him do his thing when he has the ball, and then he's so selfless that he'll be like, you bring it up and we'll run this action to get us going. That's just the type of teammate Ty is. So playing in the group alongside him is quite easy, to be honest.
Are you aware of some of the on-off numbers with the two-man numbers with you and Tyrese? Do you even look at things like that?
Not really. I'm not a huge numbers guy, but I would imagine they're good because he brings so much attention and it's all him. They're just trying to get downhill and if they leave me open, score, not get people the ball.
He's talked about evolving as an off-ball player and kind of movement shooter, especially since the trades last month. How is that kind of paired with you? And if you guys had to talk about anything specifically and how that works for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's so selfless that, a guy, an all-NBA caliber player like him, saying for me to bring the ball up the floor, it just speaks volumes to who he is. And, when we're on the floor together, it feels good. Like I said, he commands so much attention that it opens up the floor for myself and others and gets us going.
How do you just see him get better at it, playing off the ball, and in terms of the movement he makes, the screens he's making, like what he's doing to create space for himself? Like, how are you seeing just improving that from game to game?
I mean, I just think, honestly, it's a game-to-game thing. Just with more experience with it, he continues to, to kind of attract so much attention from the other team, and he's just such a smart player. He knows where to go and what we need to run, and setting screens or getting out quick and trying to mess up the defense to create a problem.
We're doing a special story on Jenny for Women's History Month. How has she impacted you personally?
I mean, tremendously. It's been awesome working with her since she's gotten here, and I joke around, she's my coach, my therapist, all the above. She's been integral in my growth mentally, physically. In my shot, we've worked tirelessly with it. I have a lot of love and respect for Jenny.
As a female, how do you see her female perspective enhance this team from a coaching staff perspective?
I don't even look at it that way. She's just such a smart basketball coach. Male, female, it doesn't matter. She's been around the game for a long time, and you can tell by the way she carries herself. And when she speaks about the game, everyone listens because she knows what she's talking about.
NCAA tournament time, I probably ask you this every year at this time, but how special were those moments when you were a player?
Pretty special. I would have liked to get into a Final Four, but that didn't happen. But playing in the NCAA tournament, March Madness, it's a special time. You see upsets all the time, and guys get on the map from the way they play in the tournament. It's pretty awesome, and I just love watching it every year.
Do you remember specific plays from some of those games?
Not one that stands out, but just competing in the tournament all together. The camaraderie with the guys and the atmospheres, and just making that tournament run is, stuff that you remember for a lifetime.
Any feelings about the death of the Pac-12?
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it is what it is. I haven't looked too much into that. I know Arizona's going to the Big 12, so no. Look out, Big 12.
I don't know. I have no answer. They feel good, so right now it's kind of good for me because I'm learning how to score without it. Just know once I get back to shooting and doing what I do, which historically is make shots, everything will figure itself back out. But it's just a little slump right now, and All they gotta do is keep shooting. They'll figure itself out.
That's what Buddy would always say when he would slump. Like, if I stop shooting, the defense wins, for example. Like, do you think that way? Do you try to get to the two more often? Like, do you even think about it when you're playing at all?
I try not to. I'm just trying to play, still take what the defense gives me, still be who I am. I mean, when you miss like a step back or something like that, then it's considered a bad shot. But I mean, I make those pretty regularly, so I don't really look at it that way. For me, it's sometimes also about attempts too. Like, if I'm 1 for 6, which I was last game. I mean, shit, probably the 7th one has a higher odds of going in. If that don't go in, the 8th one got higher odds of going in. So, yeah, I think sometimes the more you shoot, it can balance it out as well.
Because the fact that you've been off the ball more, I mean, has it been any harder to get squared up, I guess, in terms of
just missing shots. Missing shots.
How do you feel yourself evolve in that off-ball stuff? We talked to you about the screening a couple games ago, but now you're playing with TJ more, Pascal's this thing. Like, how do you feel yourself getting better at it? What's harder for you?
Just kind of learning the nuances of when's the right time, when's not the right time, times to set versus times to slip, reading how defenses are covering. Not only me, but TJ and Pascal and Drew and other guys I screened for. Just kind of learning the nuance. It's kind of like the game within the game. Like, it's all it's different on a play-by-play basis because teams don't really give me the same coverage over and over. Usually they mix it up. They'll mix up how they guard a pin down or they guard a flare or go screen or something. So I think it's also just like a feel of the game as well. So just kind of learn that as the game goes on and just having constant conversation with guys around, coaching staff. Talk to Buddy pretty regularly, obviously.
Still?
Because he was so good at it. Just trying to learn kind of the nuances of it and take some time. But when we got, however many more games left till, the playoffs, so just trying to be in the right spot with that by the time I need to be.
What's the best advice you've gotten from Buddy about it? What are the most important things he's told you and that you've been able to use?
We just talk about the angles that we could create by it, because I think some that people don't take for granted with him is just the angles that he can create with it, because he does a good job of mixing in from coming lower, coming even, coming high, just the right time, and also who you're screening for, right? Like, I think that with myself, it's more of a downhill angle, because that allows me to just get right into my shots. Sometimes it's even coming even, because then that's where I hunt that shot pocket. Whereas with TJ, it's kind of more downhill, so we can get downhill. It just depends on who it is, and also when to set and when not to set, because some teams will jam and push me up and be super physical. Some teams a lot of teams do that and tell the guy to get under. So now it's how do I get lower? Sometimes when you get lower, then they push up and go over. So it's just trying to figure it out. It's kind of the game within the game.
You and him at that dunk contest? Do you have a screen contest? Do you guys talk about
No.
that kind of
No. He's better. I don't want to contest with that one.
So many, beat Boston twice, beat OKC, beat Philly, but have lost to a lot of sub-500 teams. Do you have a theory of why that's so all over the place?
I don't really know. I think that just comes from the attention to detail sometimes. Obviously, our back-to-back schedule has been, back-to-back record is awful. That probably starts with me at the top, just being better there, having more energy. But it's just something we got to figure out going into this tail end of the season. These next however many games going into this West Coast trip, some tough games for us. So we just got to lock in, be ready, be prepared. Obviously, the whole West Coast trip are 3 teams that have beat us already. But obviously, what's in front of us, we haven't played Brooklyn yet. We played Cleveland really early in the season, and they've kind of changed the trajectory of their season from where that is. So I think the focus just has to be on tomorrow and approaching that game the right way. We're just taking it a game by game. Like you see, every day the standings change, depending on if we win or lose or other teams, and we can't really depend on other teams for help. It's so crazy right now. So we've got to take care of what's in front of us.
Does it help to keep focus there, because it's like you said, it's literally game to game. You can go to bed 7th, wake up the next day, you're 6th.
Yeah.
Does that kind of keep everybody locked in? That there's no space here. There's no sort of margin.
I think the biggest thing is just not worrying about that too much, because I think that you have to worry about what's in front of you, because the minute you start to worry about what is needed from other teams and how standings can change and all that stuff, that's when there's letdowns, you know what I mean? So for me, it's how do we take care of what we need to take care of? Stop worrying about the Philly-New York game, who's going to win that game, what this game's going to do to standings. Okay, if we lose, if we win, just worry about winning and taking care of that and just being at our best, because we need to be at our best. I mean, by the end of the month, going into April, you want to be playing your best basketball. So just need to figure everything out right now.